I am a pantser turned plotter, and this is how I outline. The nachos I just had were chef's kiss delicious. I outline chapter by chapter because that's what works for me. It keeps me on track and prevents me from changing the story 72 times and having to restart 73 times. I mainly use the Save the Cat Writes a Novel method as a guide and a checklist to make sure I'm hitting all of these main story points. I break it down into 3 main categories that I focus on: setting, emotions, and plot. When I'm looking at setting, I ask myself, what does the character see? What does the character hear, smell, taste, and what do they feel as far as the temperature for where they're at? I'm going to use an example of a cafeteria. If the character is in a cafeteria, is it at a school? Is it at their workplace? I want to give my future self a little bit of context as to what I'm thinking in the moment that I outline. That way it prevents me from whitewalling the entire draft. So if I, in the moment when I'm outlining, think they have circular tables, not rectangular ones, and they have metal trays, not plastic or styrofoam. These are the small details I'm going to write down. That way my future self can thank me and have a little less to worry about when I'm drafting. So again, asking myself, what does the character see? Do they see their school friends? Do they see their coworkers? What do they smell? If they're in a cafeteria, they probably smell food. They probably taste cafeteria food. I have an entire document separate from my outline where it tells me every single location in my book. Jot down the title of the location and again, any detail that I can think of about said location. It's generally the same thing that I put in my outline, but it's in a separate document in case I want to have it easier to find. Emotions, the thing we all love to deal with on a day-to-day basis. I want to think about what's happening and how does that affect my character at the emotional level. Are they happy, sad, angry? Then from there, I can go even further and get more specific with their emotions. Instead of happy, are they cheerful? I find when I'm drafting and I can refer back to my outline and see what my character is feeling, it helps me get into the mood and the right headspace when I'm going to write that chapter. I want my readers and my character to go through an emotional journey throughout the story. So what I try to do is I try to make sure my character's feeling one thing at the beginning of a chapter and something else at the end of a chapter. It doesn't have to be extreme. It could be a slight change. I'm not wanting to take my character through a roller coaster in every single chapter. Throughout the book, yes, throughout every single chapter, I feel like that would give the character and your readers whiplash. Having a slight change in your character emotionally in every single chapter conveys progress to the reader because they can see that the character is going through this slight change and they're going on it with them. It keeps them wanting to flip the page. Plot. What the heck is happening in the story? What happens at the very beginning of the chapter? What happens in the middle? And what happens in the end? I like to think of each chapter as a separate story in and of itself. Similar to the emotional journey I like to take my characters on, I want each chapter, I want the beginning and the end to feel different from one another. And that could be in a variety of ways. Action at the end of a chapter, there's a change of location. The first draft that I just finished is the first time I've used this outlining method. I am positive I will keep tweaking it as I write more and more drafts. I'm curious, do you plot your books? Do you pants them all the way through? Do you plan every single tiny detail before you even start writing? What kind of writer are you? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for commenting and sharing. I'm happy you're here. All right, see ya.